Hi everyone, it's Juli Clifford. I'm a residential real estate consultant with Compass in McLean, and today is another session of Juli's Community Spotlight. And you've probably seen me going out into the community, and I've interviewed restaurant owners and even somebody who removes tattoos. But today, as you can see by the teeny tiny tables, we are in a first grade classroom. And we are at St. Thomas More Cathedral School in Arlington, and I am going to be talking to Nora Hoffman. So Nora, tell us, why did you become a teacher?
So I've wanted to be a teacher my entire life. I struggled in school, especially with reading, so I had a lot of extra help. So I wanted to return that favor. I've had an aunt who is a teacher, and she inspired me. And ever since I knew I could be a mom and a teacher at the same time, I wanted to.
Oh, that's amazing. So what's the best part of being a teacher for you?
I love working with the little kids. I absolutely love seeing them. I love seeing their minds work. I love seeing them interact with each other, and really just being able to be a positive role model in their life.
That's amazing. So being a positive role model, how do you motivate and encourage your students?
That's a great question. I come up with different lesson plans. I give them incentives to work. Like one of the incentives we have here is PAT time, preferred activity time. So as we go throughout the day, if they do really well on an assignment or transition well, they'll get minutes. And at the end of the day, they get to use those minutes to play with each other, play games, and interact.
Gotcha. So what are some of the fun things that they want to do at the end of the day?
So a lot of them love to play on the iPads.
So do I.
Yes, they love to do math games on there. They love to build things and take pictures. We have magnet tiles. We have little cube connects that they'll play and build toys with. And I really like that time at the end of the day because school is school and academics is academics, but really learning how to interact with each other is what I love seeing, and that's part of learning.
Gotcha. That's wonderful. How many kids are in your classroom?
I currently have 24.
24. Wow, that's a lot of kids.
It is. 1 year I had 14, so I've really, gone back and forth.
Right.
With the numbers.
So you told me you've been a teacher for about 6 years.
Yes.
So I would assume that about 2.5 of those have been eaten up with COVID protocols.
Yes.
So tell us how. Just tell us about that.
Well, it was a long 2.5 years with all of COVID. We originally shut down in March of 2020 and we did virtual learning. So we would get on a Google Meet every morning. We would do morning announcements and I would try and teach lessons over the computer. But it was very difficult because I can't be there with the kids and I can't do the manipulatives with them. And then we came back in 2020. We were fully masked and all the desks were 3 feet apart.
You came back in 2020?
Yes, we did. We came back in the fall.
Like at the end? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
And everyone was masked 3 feet apart. And it was difficult because I had to get rid of a lot of stuff in my classroom to fit. So we didn't have manipulatives and the kids couldn't learn like that. And it was a lot of distancing. I couldn't get up close with them. It was very, very tricky.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I've noticed with being masked and being distanced is the kids' articulation when they talk. A lot of kids struggle with their R's. So they'll say wabbit or I'm wanting to the park. And so it's really been phonics and phonemic awareness they really struggle with.
Wow.
And spelling. So we're really working on that this year. And it's so nice to see them without their masks. They can work in groups. We can have all the manipulatives.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So do you find that they are like accelerating at a good rate that you're kind of happy with?
Yeah, the past, when we had just come back, they were a lot lower than what the normal standard is. But here at St. Thomas More, we do a lot of differentiation. So we meet the kids exactly where they are. So some of them won't be on grade level, but what we'll say is as long as they're progressing, that's what really matters.
Good. What changes do you want to see in the education system?
That's a great question. I think about this all the time. I love the integration of technology and learning how to use it. But also at the same time, I love seeing that the kids use paper and pencil. And I would love to see, more flexible seating area, because we're in a private school, so we don't have all the funds. So I would love to see that, get rid of desks and have couches and make the kids comfortable. So when they're learning, they're not just always constantly sitting at their desk.
Exactly.
More movement throughout the classroom. Yeah.
So I recently went to my high school reunion, and I went to high school quite a while ago, and it was really cool because we had a tour of the new high school. They've completely redone it, and they've kept the footprint of the old high school. And the principal was telling us, oh yeah, kids don't have to sit in the cafeteria anymore.
Yeah.
They can go and eat wherever they want. They can do this. And I just went, wow, those kids are spoiled.
Yeah.
No, it was really great.
Yes.
What's been your most positive teaching experience?
So I've had two. So one, right before COVID, I had a little girl who was in my class, and she had gone to school overseas. Her parents were in the military, and she came in and she didn't know how to spell. She didn't know how to do any of that. So we slowly introduced spelling to her, and by the end of the year, she was spelling.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
And what's your other one?
So my other one is actually last year I had a new student in my class, and she's not Catholic. And we would talk during our religion lessons, and at the end of the year or in the middle of the year, she told her mom she wanted to convert to Catholicism. So I felt very special that, my religion lessons were, a good impact on her.
What qualities do you have that an excellent teacher needs?
Oh, I don't like talking about myself, but I think organization. Organization is a really big one because you've got a lot of things going on. A lot of the times I tell my kids I have teacher brain. I have so much stuff going on, behind the scenes. I didn't know teaching was all the behind the scenes work. I thought it was you just come into school, you teach the kids, but prepping lessons, you're always a week ahead. And I think good classroom management, managing all kids that are all the same age. And, learning how to work with each individual student.
Well, when I walked in here today, I was amazed. She is so organized. There are like bins and drawer things, and everything is just so neat and in its place. Now, I know it probably doesn't look like that all the time, but organization, I can see how that would be an amazing skill. And I would think that you would be imparting that to the kids too,
Absolutely,
right?
Absolutely. Oh yeah, I tell them, your things go in your mailboxes. That's the only place it goes. And another skill is consistency. They really thrive on being consistent. And when you're consistent with them and where they have to put their things and what to do, your lessons will fly. Yeah, and then they know the routine. And they're not shocked, and they know exactly what to do.
Yeah. What stereotypes are true about teachers?
We're always exhausted. I am always tired, but it's a good tired. I think also one is it's a mental tired. Physically, yes, you're on your feet all day, but you're really using your brain all the time. And so some nights I'll just go home and I'm like, I can't think about anything. I'm not sure of any other stereotypes that are out there, but usually, if it's said, it's true.
So what is something that most people wouldn't know about your job?
It's not like what you learn in school. It like all the education classes that I taught, yes, that's all good, but walking in with a class is completely different than just what you read in the textbooks. Yeah.
Gotcha. So what advice can you give to someone who is thinking about becoming a teacher?
Oh, that's a great question. Go with what you know and don't reinvent the wheel. So if you're following in someone's footsteps, use what they've used, at least for the first year or first 2 years, because reinventing the wheel and having to create new projects and stuff, that takes a lot of time. And you only have a certain number of hours, school day hours. So just follow what you have and don't recreate the wheel.
Gotcha. That sounds like great advice. So we know a little bit a lot about you as a teacher. Tell us a little bit. I always like to find out a little bit about people. What do you do in your, when you lock the door here, and what do you do when you go home? What are some of the things that you like to do?
Yeah, so I try to leave as soon as dismissal's out, or I'll stay maybe an hour or so. But as I've gone on in my teaching career, I've learned I gotta just leave. Gotta let it go, and if it doesn't get done, it doesn't get done. So I like to go home. My husband and I, we like to watch Jeopardy at night, and we have, just shows. I like to just sit on the couch and just not think about anything. On the weekends, I love hanging out with family and friends and exploring to new places. Last year we went skydiving.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
wow.
We've been whitewater rafting. So I just like experiencing the world around me. And it helps, decompress from teaching.
Yeah, but I would think it would also help in teaching, because you have experiences that are fun that you can talk to your class about.
Yes, yeah, and I've shared all of that with the kids, and it helps relate to the kids, and it helps see the kids that I'm a person outside of school.
So where do you see yourself in 5 years?
That's a great question. I started teaching 5 years in third grade, and I think I found my sweet spot for 5 years. So I think I'm going to stay in first for 5 years, and then possibly move to a different grade, experience a new age group. Who knows? I kind of just like taking it one day at a time, and I'm open to all new experiences.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, Nora, this has been a lot of fun. I really enjoy sitting here in this classroom. She's going to have to help me get out of this chair, though, I think. So, again, this has been first grade teacher Nora Hoffman, and I'm Juli Clifford. I'm a residential real estate consultant with Compass. And if there's anything that I can teach you, or your friends or family about real estate, you'll have my contact information at the end of this. And thanks for spending a couple minutes with us and with Nora.
Thank you.